Finally, Kubo. Finally, Kubo's giving Toshiro some W's. Well, I'm counting this as a W. Gerard may not be dead, and maybe even though this fight was kind of concluded by teamwork, I'm still calling that a W from Toshiro. Because Toshiro, man, like, he's finally redeemed himself. In my eyes, he's redeemed himself. So with this new ability, I mean, obviously, we kind of find a bit more about it, but still, Kubo's still kind of being a little bit vague with this whole, this whole idea of Toshiro's Bankai being matured, of Daigen Horimaru being matured, and him aging. We truly do not know the whole scope of what that actually is, or how that actually happens, or how it works. But we got a little bit more in this chapter, and pretty much, it stated in this chapter that his previous Bankai, his immature Bankai, you could say, whilst he was a kid, he can only be in Bankai for 12 minutes. One, because he couldn't unleash the full potential that is Daigen Horimaru, and two, because he's just not as I don't know, it's just because the ice petals, he just weren't strong enough. But the thing is, from last review and just last chapter, everyone was kind of like thinking that this was like an arse pour, like Kubo just brought this out of nowhere. In my opinion, he generally did not, because throughout the whole series of Bleach, and I checked, Toshiro does not say himself that his ice petals, when it goes, that's when his Bankai ends. No, he's actually never said that from his mouth. Maybe from filler, but like him himself hasn't actually said that. The first time that was actually mentioned was by Xiaolong, and that was Grimmjow's Fraction. Fraction, yes, yeah, it was. And Xiaolong just assumed that whilst those petals were gone, then his Bankai would like dissipate or something like that. So we were kind of trolled by Kubo, you could say. But either way, this I don't know if this is his full version of his Bankai, his true Bankai, or like a mature. The word maturity kind of just makes me confused a bit. Because I don't know if it's like, you could kind of say like this is his complete Bankai. And this is how it should be. This is how his Bankai, so while he's a kid, his Bankai is not complete. It's not matured, you could say. So, I'm not sure if whilst his Bankai is deactivated, he will revert back to his child form. I'm not sure. Either way, this is really something important, actually. Not only Toshiro's Bankai, but also Kenpachi's Bankai. And you can just say Yoruichi's character. And who else? Is there anyone else? No, there's no one else. I think it's those three. Either way, well, mainly like just Yoruichi. Pretty much Toshiro and Kenpachi, their Bankais, and when I mean by their Bankais, I'm using Toshiro's full Bankai as an adult. I'm talking about that. Those two Bankais are very different than the original Bankai. Not the original, it's just the normal general Bankais that every Shinigami has. Because we were meant to know that a Bankai doesn't change one's appearance, so it doesn't really change one's demeanor or something. Normally a Bankai, we used to believe it was like a clad type, or it'd be like an elemental type, or like Kido based. We've never seen a Bankai like Kenpachi's, which literally turns your demeanor, you grow horns and you become like a demon. And we've never seen a Bankai like Toshiro's where he actually ages. So that's actually something important. I don't know if Kubo, maybe there's a link between that. I don't know if Kubo's implying there's like a higher form of Bankai, a higher transcendent state between Shinigami and Sanpakuto. I'm not sure about that. Either way, it kind of reminds me a tiny bit, of the final Getsuga Tensho, because at that was like, with the final Getsuga Tensho, we truly still do not know what that is. People say it's a Quintulet Steel, people say it's Bankai, people say it's a combination of all. Either way, it's kind of similar to that, because this is where Ichigo's appearance changes and he fully becomes one with his Sanpakuto. You could kind of say like Kenpachi's, he becomes one of his Sanpakuto because he literally turns into like a demon, like a monster. And Toshiro, his age dramatically changes and his whole physical appearance changes as well. So these Bankais aren't like the Bankais that we've been seeing for the past 13, 14 years of Bleach. So Kubo's doing something new, and maybe he's implying that there's a higher state of transcendence, or I'm not sure if Kubo's going along the lines like that, but either way, Toshiro's and Kenpachi's Bankai, there's something special about it, and there must be a link, and I'm hoping that kind of gets addressed in this arc. Well, he has to get addressed in this arc, because it's the last one, but I'm hoping that Kubo kind of alludes to this, and he kind of addresses this as well, because I'm really interested in this concept of Bankais that, change appearances, demeanors, personalities, and stuff like that, because that is pretty, interesting to see. So this chapter was awesome. Like, we see in this chapter, people are going to get a little bit confused, because there's Toshiro does an awesome technique where he freezes all matter and everything like in 4 seconds. It was crazy what he done to Gerard, and he called it Shikai Hiyoketsu or something like that. I pronounced that wrong. Apologies for that. But the word Shikai doesn't mean that's his Shikai in his adult form, because Shikai has different translations depending on the kanji and all that kind of stuff. So in this translation, and it even said in the manga stream at near the chapter, it means 4 worlds, or like 4 elements of that. So it didn't necessarily mean Shikai in state, as in stage of a Sanpato, just Shikai in like the 4 worlds of the elements, because in that ability, Toshiro, he freezes matter and all the elements, like so fire, wind, ice, and all of that kind of stuff. Not ice, fire, wind, water, and earth. So that was pretty cool to see. Also, seeing Toshiro at this ability, it makes us question, how strong is Toshiro now? Because if you look back, in the fights that he's had in this arc, like for example fighting Bazby, he would have demolished Bazby in a second. He would have killed Bazby whilst Toshiro is in adult form. Also, I want to ask, like, it also questions us, what kind of level is Toshiro in the captains? Like, how strong of a captain is he now? Is he at Kyoku's level? Has he like surpassed some captains like Mayuri, like Byakuya, all those kind of captains? Has he passed like Shinji, Soifong? I'm not sure. So what do you think about that? Because I definitely think he's rose up in the ranks, because that strength is madness. And yeah, pretty much that chapter was awesome. It was great to see some teamwork, because we rarely see teamwork in Soul Society. In Bleach, we see teamwork, like between like Ichigo, you know, like Grimjaw, all those kind of stuff. Like we saw Grimjaw and Urahara recently, but we rarely see teamwork between the divisions, between the actual captains. Like they don't really they don't really fight together that much. I think that's been addressed somewhere in the series. I can't remember when. I remember Yamamoto saying that. I think that's actually in the filler arc. So I don't know if that still kind of counts, but still it was stated. Like the Shusuke Amagai kind of arc. But yeah, this is kind of one of the first times we've actually seen like proper teamwork, and they're actually being not coordinatively with them, not the word coordinate. They're actually being comfortable with this teamwork. Like Kenpachi's not getting that piss. Like you can see that they've realised that this isn't a foe that they can take out by themselves. And Kenpachi's a beast. He actually needs to chill. He's not in Bunkai, and you see him like flipping Gerard, like throwing him on the ground. So either way, this chapter was amazing. I'm happy. I'm happy with Toshiro's transformation. I hope that gets addressed in the next couple of chapters. There won't be any chapter next week because I think it's Golden Week. But yeah, finally Byakuya does something. That's cool. Awesome to see. People are saying Byakuya's already been in this Bunkai, and people are saying this because we haven't seen his sword, and he's controlling Senpon Sakura with his hands. First of all, Byakuya's been to the Royal Guard Palace. This is just my opinion, but Byakuya's been to the Royal Guard Palace. So if he's been training, I'm sure that he's managed to master him being able to control the blades with his hands in Shikai. Second of all, if his hilt's gone, I'm not sure about that. Maybe he is in Bunkai, but I just wanted to point that out. Because I find it a bit weird how Byakuya went to Soaking Palace, and he brings it back down. It was all hyped for Byakuya's new Bunkai, and Kubo just kind of releases it in the quiet, like on the sly. So that, I find that a little bit odd. But either way, tell me thoughts in the comments below about this chapter. If you like anything I had to say in this review, drop a like and tell me what you think is going to happen next. Do you think Gerard's actually down, and do you think it's going to have another miracle to bring him back to life? And if you do, who do you think can actually take out Gerard? Or how do you think Gerard can actually be defeated? Shinigami Sam, and I'll see you next week for that greatness. Goodbye.